Your Excellency, Ambassador of United Kingdom, Minister Papadimitriou, Mrs. President of the British Hellenic Chambers of Commerce, Eugenia Handris, President of the British Hellenic Chambers of Commerce, Christos Ikonomopoulos, distinguished speakers, distinguished guests, Mr. Vice Chairman of the New Democracy, Kostis Hatzidakis, welcome you. It is a pleasure and a privilege to welcome such a distinguished audience to Eurobank's premises for a discussion on one of the most significant challenges facing Europe today, namely Britain's decision to leave the European Union and its impact on UK-Greek relations. The UK decision could not come at a worse time, in my view. It comes at a moment when extreme political views and populism are on the rise in Europe. Euroscepticism is gaining ground across the continent, and a number of key challenges concerning the cohesion of the European Union and the steps forward are emerging. Just a few days ago, we celebrated the 60th anniversary of the founding European treaties that led to the united Europe we know today. It is most unfortunate that these seminal events should coincide with the UK invoking Article 50 of the European Union Treaty, formally announcing its decision to withdraw. I personally believe that the UK decision to leave the European Union is not a step in the right direction, but in democratic societies, we have to fully respect the decision of the British people to democratically determine their own destiny. In the rest of Europe, despite the current uncertainties, setbacks, and differences, it's the best time to work together and continue our efforts towards closer European integration and more Europe, not less Europe. Only someone ignorant of history could believe that Europe could be more prosperous, stable, influential, secure, democratic, and liberal place if it were shattered into 28 national pieces. In time, the UK might also slowly and painfully come to realize that it has not become richer, more united, or more influential outside the European Union. But Europe is losing also too from UK departure. Europe is losing a net contributor to the European Union, to Europe budget. It is losing a member state that is highly influential in world affairs and has a long history of global diplomacy, a strong advocate of human rights. The UK is also one of the Europeans' wellsprings of liberal economic thoughts and democratic politics, and a country that offers welcome perspective into the European Union internal debates. On a more practical level, the UK also provided the European Commission with perhaps, in my view, the best public servants in Europe who bring a wealth of skills, experience, education to managing community affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, the negotiations between the European Union and the UK will be prolonged, complex, and difficult. We should not have no doubt about it. The talks will touch every aspect of the relationship, but specifically, they have to address the issue of disentangling budget obligations, including the money owned by the UK, the well-known problem, setting terms of the future relationship, arranging appropriate transition periods to avoid unnecessary disruptions, respecting the rights of 3 million European citizens that live today in the UK and vice versa. It is critical, in my view, that the founding freedoms of movements in an open economy be preserved, including cross-border trade, market access, and the free movement of capital. It is also extremely important that the UK-based financial services retain their European passporting rights, though they would also have to commit to a level playing field. That means it will be critical for the UK to accept a European-style tax and regulatory regime. trying to create a competitive advantage by softer regulatory and tax attitude could create serious complications in the negotiations, in my own view. Ladies and gentlemen, Greece and the UK are historically deep and very strong, spanning politics, culture, education, and commerce. My both older kids are residents in the UK, and I'm proud of that. Each year, millions of British citizens visit Greece, spending more than 2 billion euros and making the UK Greece number one of the top tourist destinations. Each year, more than 250,000 Greeks visit the UK. More than 100 million Greeks live in the UK permanently. UK is the 7th biggest trading partner of Greece today. And most important of all, there are many UK universities and institutions that offer classical Greek studies and hold cultural events pertaining to Greece. And we have to maintain all of the above. In closing, we'd like to hope that UK and the European Union will come to smooth and amicable agreement, especially a transition agreement without hostility or confrontation. An agreement that will be based on cooperation, partnership attitude, shared values that preserves open markets and level playing field, the interests of our citizens as a first priority, and continue the close ties in all areas of the relationship. Politics and hardline attitude and nationalistic approaches are the main risks which could jeopardize the government's ability to compromise in the context of rising populism everywhere in Europe. If talks break down or are not moving smoothly and timely, markets will pressure, and market pressure would intensify and exacerbate adverse economic developments, complicating further Europe's and UK relations. This should be avoided at any cost. Thank you very much for your attention and welcome to our premise here.